I don't care if they're a boy or a girl. I just hope they like football. That's what I was saying. Alright guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a Spen and Alex video. And one thing has changed dramatically from your guys' perspective probably since you last saw a video from us, which is...
my boobs.
Well, yes. Your boobs and other things as well have got rather large.
Yes.
And they're not finished. They're going to get even bigger.
Yes.
But they're looking good.
Thank you.
They're not the boobs. Well, the boobs are looking good, but everything's looking good.
I've got quite a large bump in front of me.
Yeah, you can't really see it on this camera right now.
I'll stand up a bit later and insert it in.
Yeah, trust me, it's getting there. It is getting there. And obviously that is the subject of this video, which is our pregnancy journey that we're on. We said we are going to start doing some sit-down chats, didn't we?
Yeah, so the last time we updated you guys was at 12 weeks. And we're now at almost 26 weeks.
Which is crazy. And one thing we now know that you guys currently don't know, but you're going to find out in this video, is the sex of the baby.
Oh my God.
We know what gender it's going to at least be officially born as. We don't know what gender it's going to assume at a later date.
Yeah.
But right now we know what it's going to be.
Biologically, what the sex is going to be.
Quite a while ago, actually, we did, I wouldn't say a gender reveal party, but a gender reveal gathering.
Yes.
As much as we could have people around at the time.
We just had my family around. It was too much to ask your family and my family to come around because it would be like 20 people, which is way too many. And
because that was post-lockdown, before the rule of 6, which is the UK rule.
Yes,
in
totally
at the moment.
fine. And we were in the garden. It was like sunny, so it was fine.
But we kept it just to your family, and
we FaceTimed your family.
We did, yeah, and we found out the gender of the baby. Before we show that footage, which you've seen a little sneak peek of already, and you find out what we're having, just going to talk about that process a little bit, because I think it's important. I think if we're going to do more videos like this, not just for our own, recollection, but also for people watching at home, many of which may have gone through similar stuff, and most of which, if they haven't, will go through this at some point in their life, potentially. I think it's cool to share this stuff. And one thing we learned straight away, when we decided for YouTube purposes and our own purposes, we probably wanted to do a gender reveal.
Yeah.
It wasn't as simple as we thought it was going to be, was it?
No, because, so with the NHS, it depends if you're doing it privately or with the NHS. With the NHS, you have to wait until about 20 weeks for them to be able to see it on a scan. However, it's not just as simple as doing it on the scan, because when we asked them, would you be able to write it down in an envelope for us? Don't tell us.
That's how essentially a gender reveal works. Americans probably do it a bit more than they do in the UK at the moment. But essentially, you don't want to find out the gender yourself. You want a third party to be told it so you can do a party. And
so you can be surprised too.
Exactly. Obviously, if they tell me or Alex or both of us that the reveal's gone for us, that's the main reveal. See your friends and family too, but it's mainly for the parents.
And the NHS basically said to us, we can't do that. We can only tell you verbally, and we can only tell the mother and the father, but we can't just tell the father.
Now, this is very interesting for multiple reasons. First of all, I wouldn't just say it's NHS. I think it's hospital specific. So I think some hospitals in this country would do it the way you wanted it to do it. Just our one particularly wouldn't. Our NHS hospital refused to tell a third party the gender of our baby. They refused. And then we thought, okay, what if I find out? Because I feel like Alex's reaction, if we had to only get one of our reactions, I want to get Alex's. They wouldn't even tell me. And the reason for that is pretty sad, really. The reason they'll only tell the mother verbally and not write it down or anything is because in some cultures, supposedly, they would much prefer a boy than a girl. And if the man finds out he's having a girl, he might insist on the termination of that pregnancy.
Yeah.
Which is mental.
Yeah.
It's absolutely mental.
And I think the other reason why they won't write it down is because there's always a chance of them getting it wrong. Because if you look at it on a scan, there's room for error. Okay,
so basically what we had to do when they told us we couldn't do that, we were like, well, we want to do the gender reveal. We think it'd be cool. And never been involved in one before, never been to one, never just seen it on like footballers do it on Twitter and stuff.
We want to do that.
So what you can do, if you want to find out the gender, and this is what we ultimately did without it being spoilt for us by someone telling Alex or me, is you can go private and you can get a special blood test. Okay, and that blood test is essentially testing the baby's DNA. So it's very, very accurate. And it's not just looking for gender, it's also looking for any health issues and things like that. So if you can afford it, I think it's a good thing to do, just to give that peace of mind.
Because it is quite pricey, isn't it?
Yeah, how much was it? 500 quid?
Yeah, I think that's very expensive. And I must say, when they were doing the scan, I didn't think it was as good as the NHS scan.
Well, I'll be honest. First of all, we're very fortunate to be in a position where, we can throw £500 at something like this. I know a lot of people aren't. So I understand it's not something that everyone can do. And equally, the actual service we got was way inferior to the NHS, in my opinion.
I agree.
That's just a fact. The people on the reception, the information we were given, the professionalism of the person doing the actual, because you get a scan as well as the blood test.
And she kept calling it.
Well, we won't say what she was saying,
Yeah.
but the woman doing the test, basically, when you go to the NHS, they will always refer to the baby as baby.
Yeah.
They won't say he or she, because there's a chance they might have seen something,
Yeah.
and they might, accidentally spill the beans and tell you what it is. So the general rule of thumb is you just say baby.
Yeah.
And that's the NHS. We've then paid 500 quid specifically to not find out the gender.
Yes.
They knew that going in.
Yeah.
And then this woman who we paid extra money for continued to call the baby by a certain gender.
Yeah.
The whole time. I was fuming.
And she explained it by saying, I always refer to babies by this gender, but it's not really good enough, is it?
And you can tell she wasn't like, she didn't have the way
knowledge.
she was talking. I knew she'd just made a mistake. So I was disappointed with that, but ultimately it did work because we got this blood test, and then what we did is we put the email address for the results as my brother's.
Yeah.
So essentially Seb would get the email, and Seb would find out the gender, put together one of these gender reveal packages. Ours was a football. You
Yeah.
can get loads of different ones. You can get confetti cannons and stuff.
We thought football was apt.
Makes
obviously.
sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you kick the football, and if it explodes pink, it's a girl. If it explodes blue, it's a boy. That's the pink-blue stereotypes. There was actually a little bit more that went on before there, a bit more complications. Basically, Seb couldn't actually end up making the gender reveal. So he'd had this ball delivered to his house. He'd put the appropriate powder in it, and he was like, I can't get it to you. So we had to buy a second ball. And Neil Smythe, who's a very trusted member of the hashtag staff, we gave him the responsibility instead. So Seb then revealed the gender to Neil. Neil then put the ball together. Now,
Neil was the second person on earth to find out the gender of our baby before us.
And he did something specific, didn't he, when
Yeah.
he put the powder together? Tell us what he did.
So because he knew that we would look into every little thing, he specifically opened both packets of powder, filled up with the right one, obviously, I hope it was, and then sprinkled a bit of powder on himself and around so that we couldn't tell. Right? Because
I wasn't expecting him.
No, but when he came out the kitchen, we knew that it could be either.
So basically, when we did open the box to get the ball out to actually kick it and find out, we saw bits of both pink and blue powders.
Very clever.
So we were like, we don't know what's going on here. So we genuinely didn't know, did we?
No, absolutely not. So actually, do you know what? I was a bit like, oh, well, yeah, we're doing like a gender reveal party. Bit embarrassed a little bit. But actually,
it's a bit extra. You think it's a bit extra?
But we, like, some people are really extra with balloons and all sorts. So we did it fairly minimal in the garden with the family, but I thought it was really fun.
I thought it was great. I think if you can do them, everyone should do them. Particularly because we'd just been in this months of lockdown. We haven't had we've had a pregnancy which has been a bit different, I guess, to a lot of people's pregnancies, in that we were spent the first 4 months of it literally on our own in a house. We couldn't go and see people. Couldn't do any of that stuff.
Easy to hide.
So it was quite nice to have a moment with some of the family and some of them watching on FaceTime to have a bit of a celebration, you know?
And it made it more real, didn't it?
It did make it more real. And everyone, we're going to show you in a minute the clip. The tension's been built up. But all I'll say is people kept asking me what I'd prefer. And I guess that's a fine question to ask. And I've spoken to some people and they did have a clear preference. But I genuinely didn't have a preference. I don't know if you guys believe me or not. But I was happy to see whatever came out of that ball. Should we find out what came out?
Let's do it.
Boy or girl? Tell the camera. Boy or girl? What's it going to be?
Boy.
Think it's boy, Raph?
Boy.
Think it's boy? Deus? Boy or girl?
Boy.
There's a lot of boys here.
They're just saying what they are.
They're just like,
Sarah, what do you think it's going to be? A boy or a girl?
I'm going girl. I'm going boy.
Cameraman's going girl.
Sarah thinks girl, yeah? Sarah says girl. Boy or girl? Girl. Boy?
All the girls go, go. And all the boys go,
Are you doing your prediction or not? What did you say?
go.
I think boy. Here we go.
Whoa! Oh!
It's a boy!
We are having a little boy. That's what the blue powder means. going back to what I was talking about before we showed you that clip. So when we kicked that ball and you see that moment of celebration, even in the moment that I did it in my head, I found myself thinking, because I've kicked the ball and I swear on my life, whatever colour had come out, I would have gone, yes! But because it's come out blue and everyone kept thinking I wanted a boy, because obviously football. And I kept saying the same thing. I don't care if they're a boy or a girl. I just hope they like football. That's what I was saying.
We've got a girls' team as well. We've got a women's team. So we
sorted
can cater for all genders.
So that moment when I celebrated, in my head, I was consciously thinking, oh, everyone's going to think that I'm celebrating like this because it's a boy. But it was an instinctive reaction that just when you see a colour, you're like, it's a baby that is actually a thing.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. So yeah, he's going to be a boy.
We've got 7 nephew and nieces between us. 5 of them are boys.
Yeah.
So I knew deep down it was going to be a boy. I just knew it. But for some reason, I'd had 2 dreams in the lead up to it where the powder was pink. So I'd sort of convinced myself, maybe it will be a girl, actually. Maybe I've got this sort of dreams where I can predict things. So that's why in the video...
Turns out you don't.
In the video, I was like, girl. But it was boy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I felt sorry for your niece because we asked all the cousins and that, the niece and nephews, if they wanted a boy or a girl, and all the boys were going, boy, boy, boy. And your niece was saying girl.
She was pretty upset.
And she was upset, wasn't she, when it came out? And I feel, she's the only one at the moment. We've got Nelly on Seb's side, but they don't really mix at the moment. And obviously, all being well, this one's still got to come out first. We've not finished this pregnancy by a long shot, but all being well, we'll have other kids. And we might get a girl and she might have an older brother.
Hopefully.
We might have 2 brothers, we don't know. So you had 2 brothers growing up, I had 2 brothers growing up. It's boy-centric families, isn't it?
We are very boy-centric.
So the reveal has been revealed. It's going to be a little boy, a little fella. We have no idea on the names. People keep asking us this. And we've obviously sat down and thought about a load. And I'll be honest again, I think we had, I won't say stronger names, but names we were more confident in for girl. And the boy...
It's
challenge
proving hard.
If you want to leave a comment below with any suggestions for boys' names, I'm not saying we're going to go with it, but it actually might help us, guys.
I love how anytime I speak to somebody about it, they offer up their own name. They're like, well, have you thought about...
It's actually a very good name.
The problem is we need to make a decision in the next 3 months. This baby's coming in 3 months.
I know, and that's where future videos could come in. So if you're enjoying these sort of sit-down chats, there's a load of other stuff we could talk about, what we've gone through with the pregnancy. You want to sponsor our baby's surname? Sponsor our baby's surname. No, but yeah, we can. If you want us to do more videos like this, you can you just let us know in the comments. Really, drop a like on the video.
Well, for the next video, I really want to answer some of your questions because I think that'll be really interesting. You can ask us anything. Doesn't mean we'll answer them, but get some juicy questions in for us, and we'll happily answer them.
Yeah, leave them in the comments below. We can update you on other things that have been going on in the pregnancy. We've still got to do the nursery. We've still got to do a whole shop and a lot of the products we've got to get. Maybe we can review some. I mean, we're not turning this into a baby review channel, but realistically, this channel's always been about yours and my relationship. Yeah. And in a few months, a massive bombshell is getting dropped in that relationship in the shape of a third party. We had that already with Joey to an extent, and Joey did dominate the videos for a bit after that. And that's probably going to happen with the baby, although we don't know exactly what we're going to do filming wise with the baby. There's a chance we might not cover, him. We can say him now. In the videos that much, but we can still cover the act of being parents and learning about it.
And this is never going to be like a family vlogging channel. That was never our intention. But we'll obviously touch upon it here and there because it's part of our life. Yeah.
So we'll leave that video there. We're having a boy. We're absolutely delighted about it. And only a few months to go until we meet the little fella.
The countdown is on. I'm nearly in that 3rd trimester.
Do you want to give us a 12 now and just show us the size of you? It's there, guys. Look at that. Look at that premium bumpage.
Does it look good?
I mean, it's undeniable. It's undeniable that you are, I wouldn't say heavily pregnant, but certainly medium pregnant. So well done on getting this far.
Well done to you too.
Thank you. I played a part.
Big part.
I used massive part. I used some of my best ingredients on that one.
Good.
Put a nice little concoction together.
Lovely.
And we'll crack on with the pregnancy. We'll just keep doing what we do. And then we'll maybe upload some more videos like this in a bit. Spandex Cup stuff has been delayed a little bit for obvious reasons. We're going to try and get some out, but we'll never make any promises about upload schedules on this channel. Yeah. Because we just don't know when we can. But we do want to make a few more of these. And we've got a setup here now, which is easily done. So yeah. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it and you're excited to see baby Spandex coming soon. Leave your name suggestions in the comments below. Subscribe for more. Until next time.
See you on the next one. Don't go changing.